And then domains, it comes second. This is like second grade. All right. Again, easiest, doesn't take too much money. Ebooks is the third. Like I have elderly students who, 81 years old and they're on Kindle, right? So that's why that would come third. So by the time you get up here, here's email marketing, SaaS, PPC, pay-per-click marketing, high-ticket webinars, all that stuff comes later. And I've had experience doing all these models, of course, like SEO, blogging, YouTube, etc. But these are the really easy ones. And you know who invented this or created this staircase? Was my students. So every time, even though I teach everything and I go onto a webinar, I'm like, I feel like this week I'm going to talk about YouTubing because I just did a new YouTube channel. It's awesome, etc. So I'll teach all that stuff. People send me emails and they go into my Facebook group and they say, hey, I made my first sale. And everyone's like, how'd you do it? And they're like, with domains. So that's why domaining comes number 2. It couldn't come number 1 because, again, we got to go by how fast can you physically get the money in your pocket? Nothing beats agency, right? Because, you could go on Craigslist and you could say, hey, I'll do your video editing for you. And you get a payment within an hour and it's in your bank account within an hour because it's PayPal, right? So, but domaining is the second easiest thing to do. And so I really, I need to illustrate that before we jump into what I'm about to talk about. So here's some examples of Afternic sales. Now, quite a while ago, and I could show you my, I'll try to do this seamlessly and show my browser. So quite a while ago, you guys would have seen like in my email here, this is my email. Before they switched to Afternic, I was making all these domain sales with GoDaddy. And then, as you can see, there's literally hundreds of them that pour in. And then after a while, we started using Afternic. And this is all my Afternic sales pouring into the email box, right? Now, after we moved from GoDaddy, we jumped into using primarily Afternic, and that's what all of my students are always sending me all of these screenshots and like, oh my God, I sold this, I sold it. It's really like there's sometimes where I'm like, man, I don't want to talk about domains. Like in the Facebook group, like I'm like getting ready to talk about a big project I did, and I wanted to keep it as a surprise. And then someone will post in the Facebook group, they'll be like, yo, I bought a $1 domain and sold it for $30,000. And then now we're all talking about that, right? So it's like I can't get away from the fact that this is just constantly happening. But this is what's very popular, and I'll go into the kind of like the stage, the step 1, step 2, step 3 process with this. But nowadays it's really primarily happening with Afternic, and I really have to illustrate the fact that people are making all of this money with domaining, although I'm teaching all of the different stuff. And I'm very good with video, very good with YouTube. I got like over 30 million views on YouTube. I've got videos where it's only 100,000 views, and the video literally made 6 figures from a video. I've got YouTube videos that have sold domains. So getting into that fusion, you know what I'm saying? Fusion of business models and everything. But these are examples, and as you can see here in these screenshots, these domains are not really very good. All right, so this one, orderessay.com, sold for $4,000. Order essay? I know what that means, and it's following the recipe. Like, you'll see the domains that we're finding with the software, and you'll see what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Not that good. Like watermarkhigh.com, $550, right? But it happens. It happens, and it happens like it's the stupidest thing. It's like you literally click a button inside your GoDaddy account and it adds it to Afternic. And then you sit back, and then you get an email and it says like your domain sold. There's nothing else like that, right? So, again, I wanted to reiterate that, although me and Todd are both big video guys, but this is something you can't get away from, and it's always something that you can look at it like however you want. It's a side hustle, it's the backbone of your entire business, whatever, but we're always going to be talking about domains. You know what I'm saying? So here's the recipe, everyone. This is the educational portion of this. I made it really simple. You'll notice in this deck that it is like very simplistic. All right, so check this out. So I made it very easy to understand. All right, so basically a good domain name. All right, and of course, like I have a program. You know, my program is Prime Domains, right? And that's not something that people are really searching. It's not following this recipe. It's a brandable. But we want to talk about the recipe of buying a domain name and it has this actual value to it. Similar to if you went on Facebook and you were like, hey everyone, I've got a BMW 645 and it's got 30,000 miles on it. I'm selling it for this much. Everyone will be like, all right, yeah, you got the pricing right, you know, you go to Kelly Blue Book or whatever, and there's no argument. It's like, yeah, my sister might want to buy it, right? So we're talking about domains like that, and that's why they would sell so fast, is because everyone sees it and they can identify that it's worth something. So these are actual domain sales too. I'm going to show you guys a quick video demo where I actually sold domains in the video. And it's edited, so you guys don't need to wait 4 hours. It took 4 hours. So we're going to get into that video in a little bit, and you'll see topless contest. Here's the example, right? And toplesscontest.com. I'm not the best English major, but adjective and a noun, right? So it's like describing a thing, okay? So an adjective and a noun, 2 words, all right? And it can be a .org, .net, .com. I'm not really too much of a stickler about extensions like that, but what happens with extensions are it's kind of like a hand of cards or something. Like it'll bring down the value. Like a .com is king, right? So a .net will be like a .com will be put it this way, a .net will be 90% less value than a .com, and then .org is like 95, and a .info is like 99. And .biz is like 99.5, all right, percent less. So if you had like 2 words like callonline.com, if callonline.org sold for $1,200, then callonline.com would be 12,000 or something. You see what I mean? So yeah, I think I explained that pretty good. So an adjective and a noun, all right, and remember, no one cut corners, because the minute you cut corners, it's going to wreck the value, okay? And that's like dashes, numbers, misspellings, double clingers, where there's like, say if this was topless satisfaction and there was 3 S's in a row, that kind of brings down the value too. A verb and a noun can also work, right? So it'd be like an action and a thing. So it'd be like climb mountain, all right? And then you'll notice also that when you follow this recipe, a lot of the time people are searching those things, all right? But that's the next portion of this, is that, look, we don't want to purchase domains that only get like 300 searches, all right? But again, this is the recipe of like an exact match keyword domain where there is an ongoing industry where there are buyers for these types of domains, whether it's like people are starting a Shopify store, or they sometimes, because they're appraised and because they're comparable sales, which are king, better than appraisals, people identify them and just purchase them up, and they are available for $10, okay? But when you're selling them, you're doing them a service, because it's a lot of the time is very difficult to find them. You know what I mean? So far, a little bit of a review. You want to make sure that there's 2 words, you know, and it would help if it's like a verb and a noun. And then a lot of searches, like 10,000 to 500,000. And then the last thing, which is really important, is after you've like, okay, check, right? Well, is that item like worth a lot of money? Like one of my students sold like what are those glasses? Smartglasses.org or something like that, okay? Now smart glasses are kind of expensive, right? I mean, I don't know a lot about smart glasses, but they're like $600 or something, right? Like Google Glass or whatever. So it's like $700. Now if you had like colored pencils and with this same extension, right? So coloredpencils.org versus smartglasses.org. Smartglasses.org, you know, is more expensive than colored pencils. All right? So you see how it's kind of like a balancing act there? It's like, well, what if colored pencils gets like freaking 20 million searches? Well, then that's going to bring up the value. So it's kind of like a number and word game all at once. You know what I mean? So that's why we were talking about how I built the software. That's what I'm going to get into. And, you know, don't worry, you guys are going to get, even when I show you the software, you're going to learn a ton from just looking at it. It's like, we're all beside ourselves. It's a month old and we're just like, what on earth, you know? So that's the recipe. Everybody understand so far? Any feedback? Any, am I speaking okay? And, oh, wow. Oh, you guys are so sweet to me. Thank you. Well, you know, you guys being sweet, like, you guys being at least positive, that helps me teach better. You know what I mean? So, oh, thanks. Thanks. Appreciate it, Patsy. Thanks, Eldon. All right, cool. Oh, all right, good question. Just real quick, you guys mind if I just answer this fellow's question here? What about other country domains like .ca? Man, you got me with a good question. You know, I would say, you know, I went over like the .com, .net, .org, .info, and then .biz. Look, if it's like freaking motorboat.biz, okay, well then that's still going to be worth something. It's not. Remember, we're looking, you know, below 99% of what if it was motorboat.com. Think about it. If it was computer.com, it'd be like a $20 million domain name or something, right? Now, if it was computer.biz, it would be like 200,000 or something. Do you see what I mean? It's like a 99% type of thing. I hope I have my math right there. But yeah, I think that is probably. So I've been doing this thing. So I've been doing the domaining thing. I got like a lot of the time in my mind, I just have kind of things like, kind of have like an instinct about it. You guys will get it too. And it's something that, you know, you got, if you're in internet marketing, no matter what you're in, video, whatever, you need to know this stuff, you know? All right. So anyway, that's the recipe. It looks like you guys understand what I'm saying there. Okay. So now you guys know that's what you'd be looking out for. And again, I will be hardcore. I will really be, what's the word for that? Cutthroat. My opinions on domains that don't follow this recipe. Look, a good brandable name, like like we know, like we put out products. I put out products. Sometimes you don't want this recipe for a product name or a brandable name. You know, like me and my wife put out a product that she did a product called Crypto Prophecy. And that is not an exact match domain. It's a funny name, you know. It's like, oh, crypto prophecy, right? Like, oh, find out what crypto is going to do. You know what I mean? Or like film degree, or well, that actually, I think that product name was actually a keyword name. But you guys, you get my drift. But that is pretty much the recipe. All right. So here's an example of an exact match domain that we found with the software. All right, so that's a verb and a noun, and it's a .net. So if that was a .com, it would be worth, you know, I think we have the price $1,200 for this. So again, it would be probably about $12,000 for a .com. Okay, but this is the type that is a good example. So you guys see that example, very simple example. And I can't wait to show you the next thing. This is another example. It's a little bit different. It's an adjective in a noun. The same extension, .net. These blue bars, I had that from my video. I put the blue bars over the domains because I put it on YouTube. So I put a demo of my software on YouTube, and you know how it goes on YouTube. You have I could potentially have like my other domaining videos, like 100,000 people see it. So I didn't want to give people things for free, and I also didn't want people to learn my algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So I gave them like a sneak peek of one of them, and then, you know, the other ones that we find in the software are different. So that's why I put the blue bars there. But so you see this. This is important because in the next slide I'm going to show you a comparable of this to explain why this would be worth something, all right? So this one's fineleather.net, all right? So check this out. when you do a comparable search, findwatches.net actually sold, and I didn't sell this. GoDaddy is reporting these sales. These are comparable sales. These are recent actual sales. So findwatches.net, remember we were looking at Fine Leather. It's not as good as Fine Watches, I'll admit that. But findwatches.net sold for $2,600. FineTouch.net, all right, Fine Leather is better than Fine Touch. What is that? What does Fine Touch mean? Still sold for $500. Vintage Jewelry, of course, very good. $788. I think that was a lowball too. That's very vintage jewelry. It was better than that. Whiteleather.net, not a fan. $588. I don't think people are searching that. I'm always looking for the searches, you know. CustomTailor.net. Okay, I know what that means, right? FineHome.net. I don't like it. I don't really like it, but it still sold for that's the biggest one, $2,688. So this is king. All right, comparables are better than appraisals. People are always like, oh, it says it's appraised at this or that. Look, when I sort some of these domains, I'm going to show you the software in a little bit, and I have screenshots too. I have both. I'll show you live and both. But when I do searches and we sort by the searches, by the keyword searches, then you really get good domains. And the appraisals are all over the place. Appraisals are really done by robots. Like with, you know, these APIs that we use and the softwares that we use, they're really done, but it's just like robots. But what we did recently, of course, I'm jumping the gun, spilling the beans, but we started using AI, right? And that's what's so exciting is it's like we had, you know, we didn't have AI for years. We're doing domaining software, really trying to find the needles in haystacks. And then AI is really helping us kind of, you know, bridge the gap in finding domains based on comparable sales, if that makes sense. All right? So do you guys see what I'm saying here? So you see, you understand this concept, like where I talk about FineLeather.net? That was based on actual the word fine. And then it's also, because GoDaddy is also using AI a little bit too, and so they're able to show you exact similarities based on that algorithm, like with the verb, noun, adjective, noun, right? But also that word, you know, actual words, all right? So that's king. Comparable sales beat appraisals every time. You know what I'm saying? Jeff asked a good question. He says, is this domain flipping or website flipping? Mainly domain flipping. I was going to get a little bit into website flipping. That's one of your options, of course, but this is the first stage is, of course, I'm teaching you how to flip a domain right away. Like if you want to flip a domain right away without anything, just the domain, and do it easily, then this is a good recipe. Hope it answered. What is the average days in the market before a sale is made? That is a really tough question to ask, but in that video, man, I'm telling you, it sold within hours, and the other one did like two weeks or something. Here's another example of comparables, guys, all right? So we did a little bit, I do the mastermind webinar, you know, where I help people and I develop their sites for them and stuff. I promise like total done-for-you solutions, you know? And so people come to me and they're like, all right, dude, I have computer chair. How much should I sell it for? Computerchair.org. So what I did was I did a search with Estabot for all different types of chair.orgs. So, you know, because computerchair.org, Estabot said it was appraised at like $500, and I called BS on Estabot because Estabot is a bot. It's a robot, and it messes up all the time. And sure enough, it was based on these really bad comparable sales. So I had to do my own comparable research, right? So I did a search for cheapchair.org. We're not going to use that one as an example. You know, we got computerchair.org. It's pretty good. So I did a search again, a couple more searches, and I found officechair.org was appraised at $17,000. The robot was comparing, again, based on comparable sales. So when you go to sell computerchair.org, you're going to bring up the fact that officechair.org sold for $17,000. You see what I'm saying? So it works better than an appraisal. Sometimes an appraisal can really do you wrong. Now, buyers, they'll appreciate this. They're not going to ever say to you like, you know, well, that's not a good example. Are you trying to, pull a fast one on me or something like that. They will not do that because they appreciate this kind of intellectual philosophy rather than relying on robots, what robots say. You know what I mean? Sure, you can always bring up appraisals, and buyers sometimes like the appraisals, but you just be fair and transparent, of course. Domains are the greatest like that. You could go on your Facebook page in front of your friends and family and be like, hey, I got officechair.org for sale. Anyone want to buy it? And they're not going to be too mad at you. Like if you went on your Facebook page and you're like, hey guys, I'm promoting so-and-so on JVZoo. Will you buy through my link? Everyone would be mad at you, right? They'd be like, dude, this isn't the place for that. If you go on, you get my drift. So again, show the comparable. It's the way to sell a domain, all right? So this is an example of, it's actually my Afternic account with, you'll see these examples. This happens all the time, and it happens automatically. You never have contact with the customer, etc. It's all automatic. Like you click on the button, list it for sale, and it sells. And a lot of the time we have marketplaces, and before I built the marketplace in Prime Domains, I had a YouTube channel, and I would do videos, like tutorial videos, and I'd sell domains from the videos. But nowadays, I started seeing my students, they were listing them through Afternic, and they were selling within the first 24 hours. And hand registered, which goes against everything that I had learned. A little bit of background was, that was my original instruction when I started teaching domaining in 2016, was I was like, hey, guys, when you buy a domain, you also have to advertise the listing, right? So my students, I'd say that's the step one is buying it, finding it, that's the hard part. Step two is listing it for sale. Step three is advertising the listing. People would get to step two and they would sell and they'd send me an email and say, Jamie, thank you, I had my first sale, etc. And I'd say, well, cool, how'd you promote it? How'd you do it? How'd you promote it? Did you do what I told you to do in step three? Be like, no, I didn't even get to step three. I'd be like, oh, BS. But this kept coming. It kept happening. Now I found out, this one example I'm thinking about, the first time it happened, you know why that happened? Because he bought it from an expired drop list. So when these expired drop lists get put out every day, there's 10,000 people looking through that expired drop list. So if you grab one of the expired domains when they first come out and you list it for sale, if you list it for an affordable price, like think about it, $100, but you got 10,000 buyers already looking through that list. So they're looking for something available. A lot of things aren't available. But then they come across yours and it says $80 or $100. They're like, oh, that's not that bad. Boom, they buy it. And so I call that the quick grabber method. And I got all these. I've now been teaching that, and not to contradict myself because I still do believe in promoting your listing. But I got a student. Her name's Bruria. She lists domains that are hand registered, that aren't even from a software like mine or from an expired drop list, and she thinks them up in her head, purchases them, and then they sell. She does them on Dan.com. She does them on Brand Bucket. If you can't make this up. It's ridiculous. Like, I mean, literally. Like, and so it kind of like goes against the rules. Like you'd be thinking like, Jamie taught me to do it like this. It was even easier. So I'm just trying to like prepare you. Sometimes you buy a domain and you list it and it doesn't sell, right? So that's why we have different stages, and that's what I'm about to teach you guys. All right. So here is something that I started doing a long time ago. All right, and I haven't done this in a while, and that is selling websites, and that's what this other fellow in the questions box had asked about. So these are some of my website sales. Okay, so on the left, that was a sale I made on eBay. 180,000. This one was in the middle was one I did on Flippa, 238,000. And then here on it to the right, these are sales all over the place. One of them was for actually 420,000, but the guy gave me a deposit, so that's why it's only 336. And then I had one for 26. You can see the 96 for So I was selling a lot of websites before I sold domains. Like I've been doing that for a long time. Like I used eBay, of course. Like that eBay sale was 2010. You know what I mean? So I've been doing this for a long time. Like I learned Flippa pretty well. In fact, a year ago on a webinar, people were like, you know, Jamie, you don't do anything. I would teach people. I'd say, well, you could do a starter site and you could sell, because I have a student who sells starter sites on Flippa. And so I was like, you know, it's a really great idea to do starter site sales. So they were like, all right, well, put your money where your mouth is. And so I listed a bunch of starter, you know, which is basically a domain you just develop on it really quickly and list it for sale. I did that, sold all 4 of them, right? So this is the 3rd stage. And this is representing number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Domain, Flippa, broker, right? So $1,000 for just a domain. That's kind of like the rate of the types of domains we can find. And then Flippa is $5,000. Flippa, you know, Flippa starter site, you know, $5,000. Flippa, you remember the $238,000 sale I did? This type of Flippa sale, established site, not a starter site. And then a broker. And that's how I was able to get the $420,000 sale. And that's based on 24 to 36 months of revenue. And this is based on 10 to 15 months of revenue. And these don't require revenue. All right? So that's like a little bit of, you know, it's not just, hey, let's purchase a domain and flip it. Like, hey, if you can't do the quick grabber method in 24 hours, then move on to the next one. So it's like almost like guaranteeing that this investment you made and the time that you invested is going to pay off, like 100%. If it doesn't pay off the first time, then you get to the 2nd stage, develop on it. I don't know what else to say. I listed, you know, and I'm kind of like more experienced with selling domains by themselves or selling websites for hundreds of thousands of dollars than I am with starter sites. But I also noticed that a lot of my students were selling starter sites. I was like, what the hell? So I started to just be transparent about that, you know. All right. So here's some other examples. This is what I was telling you about Bruria, this student I have. She's a very good example because every couple days she tells me another one of these. And here are actual examples of her selling these on Dane.com. And she also did Brand Bucket, as I was saying. But this one was freshfumes.com for $2,500, right? This one was another student of mine, Kimberly. She sold Repair for Free for $317. And then this guy sold a domain for $30,000, and he posted in my Facebook group after buying it for $1 and selling for $32,000. And then this guy, John, he posted in the Facebook group. He was saying he got prime domains, and this answers this other fellow's question. I think Thursday I bought domain. On Friday it sold. So he bought it on Thursday using prime domains, and on Friday it sold. So, and again, the philosophy is only $10 domains, or in the case of Sean, he bought it for $1. And the way you buy them for $1, sometimes you have a coupon. You guys probably know about that. All right, so look, I want to show you guys this video, all right? And it's based on this, okay? It's based on how if you guys go and try to do this yourself without software, a lot of the time, you know, we get frustrated, things are taken. So without further ado, let me show you this video. And I don't know if you guys can still hear me, but I'm going to click on play.
What's up, guys? It's Jamie Lewis here. And last night, we finally finished our AI Domene Software. We finished it last night, and so I woke up, crack of dawn, got my morning coffee, and here's the exact time. 6:11 it says, May 29th, 2024. And let's get started. What we're going to do is we are going to find some goldmine domains and attempt to sell them online. We got the camera rolling. We're going to make sure we get everything on tape. Let's jump in. Let's commence this case study of the century. All right. Let's go. We are looking at the Prime Domain Software interface. We're going to use some predefined prompts here. All right, so we're going to select these. And let's click on the button. So as you can see, the AI is searching for the domains right now. It's scouring the net, trying to find A, domains that fit our algorithm, that fit our requirements. B, domains that have just expired and are appraised at a good amount. That's using Estivat. It's starting to come up with results, as you can see. So we just want to let it think and go through this process because it's gradually adding them, as you can see there. Just one after the other. They are absolutely incredible. Look, we had to blur out the names because
we want to keep the format, the formula, top secret.
Our algorithm and those prompts that we're using, we worked really freaking hard on it. And as you know, there'd be so many eyeballs on this. Before you know it, everyone else is utilizing our algorithm just by seeing the results here. They are absolutely incredible. It's blowing my mind. And AI is still searching. It is still doing its job, finding dynamite, gold mine, absolute pure beauty right here. We're going to purchase a couple of these domains, and then we're going to list them for sale. And this time we're going to do it for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, and see if we could sell them right away. So when we click on the domain, it gives us these options. All right, we can further look at the appraisal report, check who is, etc., or we can click on register. Right. So when we click on register, it goes to GoDaddy. As you can see, that brought us right to GoDaddy, and our domain is available. Right. So we're going to click on Make It Yours. Now let's purchase a couple other ones too. I wanted to do 3 or 4. I saw this one when it came out right away, so I'm going to purchase this one. Let's see if they sell. Let's list them for sale on Afternic, which is what GoDaddy uses. Once it's in your GoDaddy account, all you do is click on, at the bottom here, List for Sale, as you can see right there, and then you just put in your price. All right, so we'll do, for this one, $1,500. All right, let's put in our price, $1,000. All right, let's put in our price, $1,200. Publish listing. Awesome. That's how it's done, guys. Okay, guys, so right now what I'm doing is I want to get some eyeballs on the listing, so I am posting on the marketplace. All you have to do is enter the name of the domain listing on Afternic, and the price, right? And now you're going to get some extra eyeballs advertising the listing. That's it. It's very, very simple. Other than that, if it's a drop domain, we get eyeballs directly from the drop list because it's very fresh. People are still looking through that drop list. You're getting extra advertising here. Remember, we're selling these domains at a wholesale price. What I mean by that is we sell it for $1,000 or $2,000, but the buyers, they'll turn around and they'll sell it for $10,000 or $15,000. And they'll get on the phone and they'll call companies and all that stuff. That's stuff I don't do. We don't do that. So after this, that's it. It's just going to be a waiting game. I'll turn the camera back on if we get a sale, right? So who knows how long it's going to take. It should be good, though. The names are dynamite. So hopefully we'll get a sale and we'll get it on camera for you. It finds the domain, and that domain is also an expired domain that just dropped. And that is very, very important for quick sales because we don't want to be sitting on multiple domains and just wondering if they're going to sell or not. We want some really, really good results very, very fast. And so therefore, the people looking through the drop list, they'll see the domain and they'll purchase it. So that was the idea behind the software. So guys, what was even funnier was in that Afternic account that I was using, that's a new Afternic account, and I hadn't used it. I hadn't logged into that email or seen any of the notifications. I'd been posting on Flippa. I actually did those 4 or 5 sales on Flippa. As you guys can see, it's all public stats and everything, and also in the webinars I was telling you about it, remember? But this was a new account, and so when I logged into that email, I wanted to make sure that the payment stuff was working and everything, right? Because I was like, oh, I'm actively going to be purchasing and posting on Afternic. So I changed the payment stuff, but then I see in the account and in the email that I'd sold a bunch of domains in there, and it was the type of thing where they didn't have the payment. So they kept emailing me like, hey, we have this money to send you. That was just a fluke. When I listed the 2 domains for sale in the past, I just clicked on list for sale like, I don't know, maybe I was like showing people how to do it on a webinar or something. Like, it's like unintentional money being made. It's like you don't have the intention to make money and you end up making money. This is the only situation that I've ever experienced that online is with domaining. It's almost like there's this crazy demand for something that you can get in another dimension. Now I'm going to start sounding like I'm a pothead at a music festival or something like that. But no, this is a serious thing. Yeah, that was a true story. I'd actually sold vaginitis.org. True story. That was the domain that I sold. You can see it right there. So, okay, I'll show you guys one of the domains. All right. I think you're going to really agree that it was a good idea that I blurred out the names in blue, because a lot of people will just be watching this video and then purchase my domains. There's like 10 of them. Those 10, I didn't buy all of them. I'll leave them up for you guys. I'll show you one of the domains. All right. I'll uncensor one of the domains so you can see the quality. Look at this quality. Fine leather. And then look at this one. Liftweights.net. Surprise. I wasn't pulling your leg. It wasn't like, I'm censoring the domains because they suck or something. I mean, they're really good. Look at the comparable stats. GoDaddy is telling us here domains that are similar to this one and how much they've sold for. Look at the pricing, guys. GoDaddy's appraisal has gotten much better, too. Look at that. It's using comparable sales for the appraisal. So those are actual domains that sold for those amounts. And then look at the domains that we're finding. You see what I mean? Other than that, those are the only ones I'm going to uncensor because, of course, we don't want people just watching this video and then I get to purchase domains for free that these guys did all this work finding. Leave that up to me, the members, and my friends, you guys. Okay guys, so let's log in. I'm gonna log in first of all to my email here, and we're gonna see if we've sold anything. We got a sale! Holy mackerel, we got a sale. Nice! That was quick. Get the hell out of here. We just got another one. We just got another sale. Oh my God. This is just the beginning, guys. The minute I saw those domains, I said to myself, they're gonna sell fast. Absolutely incredible. This is, without a doubt, the most powerful cash generator I've ever created. I'm going to be making millions of dollars this month with this software. It's unbelievable. I really have to be careful about where I say this online, obviously. I mean, people are going to want my head. It's going to make people so mad, the fact that I obtained this. For that reason, this is going to be extremely limited, guys. I'm not going to be showing this to many people. You know what I mean? Or not many people are going to be able to get into this. Yeah. This is freaking powerful. Holy mackerel. Unbelievable. Oh, I just got the notification and it finally sold. Guys, don't do what I did. 1,500 was too much. Took way too long, right? The more affordable you make it, the faster it'll sell. So you get the drift. The video keeps going on and on like that. Is so insane. So you come in here, this is how it is. You select one of the pre-built prompts, so it's not like you need to think. And then you click on Find Domains. So because I had that the blue censorship, I wanted to at least show you guys that it is real. So discountlaptops.org. All right, look. Now you guys can see how I'm giving you stuff. Like, this is just the value scale is kind of crazy, because I kind of want some of these. The thing with AI is people are using this right now. We're using this. But AI will find it. AI is weird, as you guys probably already know. Sorting by keyword search.
Jesus, look at that. Buyheadphones.biz, findgames.info, cheaphandbags.info. So obviously .info is 99% less than a .com, but look at the keyword. Look at the searches, look at the keyword. And then you have also, remember we talked about the monetizable factor, how much the item is. Okay. Also, another indicator is if you see everything has been taken, and that's funny. I told you Biz is so crappy that sometimes, a lot of the time, you'll see that everything is taken except for a .biz. Even the .us is taken, right? So do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, we saw screenshots, you guys don't want to see anything more, you don't want to see any more of that, but this is a great, you had to see the example of domains that are selling, like domains that Brewery has sold, domains that Kimberly sold, domains that I sold, domains that other people sold. And then look at this, newcars.biz, buyheadphones.biz, vintagedolls.info, findgames.info, cheapheadphones.info, cheaphandbags.info, cheapguitars.biz, discountwatches.info, qualitytools.info, discountlaptops.org. I mean, good grief, right? And if, so remember I said that comparables were king? They really are, because it's an umbrella for all these different factors. You can't really go by just appraisal. You can't go by keyword search, because then what if the keyword CPC, what if the monetize factor is down, right? So that's an example of how we're doing this, and that's an example of how the software works. I can't wait for you guys to freaking use this with me, and it really is like doing it with me, because what will happen is, in a little bit, we'll give you guys access, and then you can jump into the software, start using it, and then come to the Monday mastermind, okay? So every Monday I do a mastermind where there's probably 10 to 20 people on there at any given time. And in that mastermind, I'll give you a link to the Facebook group, and you can jump into the Facebook group with all my other students that are selling domains. And then you'll also have my personal email, so I can kind of keep track of you. So when you're looking at domains and you're like, hey, you might want to ask me, like, Jamie, what do you think of this one? What do you think of that one? And then, we do that first stage, the easiest part, the quickest way from A to B. We try that first. We try to just list the domain for sale, and then after you've listed it for sale with Afternic, something that wasn't in the videos, then you go to the marketplace, which is here, and you list the domain for sale here, and then this link will go to the actual domain listing, right? So then people will purchase it. So here's an example of some of the domains that people are listing for sale: productsupport.net, craziness, onlinecomputer.org. And I mean, I'd be honest with you, even, you know what I mean? Like, just showing this on the webinar, you guys probably see what I'm saying, right? Like fancywatches.net. There's no joke. And then the way I teach too is like, I'm really hungry for the testimonials, and I'm sure people really they appreciate this, okay? You could probably get a heck of a lot more for fancywatches.net than $300. But that's the way I teach, is I'm kind of like, I don't want you guys to have a tough time. I know a lot of the time in my industry, there's so much stigma, and people purchase so many of these products, and then the spouse is upset with the guy or the girl buying these biz ops and stuff. So I really help out with that. I try to get people quick sales, but at the same time, I don't want to contradict myself. You probably sell fancywatches.net for freaking $3,000 or something, right? Or maybe even more than that. All right, so you see what I'm saying, right, guys? So I wanted to just quickly explain exactly what we're going to give you, okay? Which is very customary, as you could imagine. It's very important. So verbally, I am a very verbal guy, but these are the things. There's a lot of stuff inside. So just to reiterate, I'll just go through some of this, and then we're going to give you a link so you guys can jump in, start using the software, and again, keep in touch with me every step of the way. Come to the mastermind on Monday, and then come on Wednesday as well. We finish up. The Monday is kind of like a done-for-you one, and that's how I advertise it. I've been doing it for 13 years. So been doing twice a week, and it's always been that way, where it's kind of like Wednesday is the showcase, show and tell, and then Monday is kind of like the done for you. That's the way I've always advertised it. And so I kind of get my hands dirty and I do these things, and that's what I wanted to show you. All right. So these are the main elements, although there are all those other, tools and drop lists and all that good stuff. And there's a vault. So you guys want expired domains? It's also in there. So, because the AI Finder software, which we were just looking at, finds keyword domains that may not be expired, but they're just really high quality, right? And it's the first time we're able to do that. So you get the AI Finder software, and then what's very important is the marketplace, because the marketplace is also public. It's not just advertising it to buyers inside the members area. And then there's the hand-picked expired domain vault. All right, and so that's going through our algorithm, and we just like how they hand build a Ferrari or whatnot, we look at every domain and make sure that there's no garbage in the list. And then there's the mastermind, twice a week. So those are the elements of this. And then some of the things that I didn't mention, I didn't want to overwhelm, are of course like you'll get my personal email. When you sign up, you'll get a welcome email, and it includes my personal email in it. And then the mastermind is where I'm going to give you access to the Facebook group. I don't have it listed in the members area. All right. So let's talk about the AI Finder software just really quickly. All right. So as you can see, we actually did use it, and we were, did a search and found all of those different domains. But these are, again, I know the blue censorship was annoying, but these are actual examples. Mountainbikesforsale.org. Right? Treadmillsforsale.org. Ridiculous, valuable domains. So that's the software. You saw how it works. It gives you the appraisal, which uses the Estabot and the domain index APIs, and then gives you the keyword, gives you the searches and the appraisals, and how much the item sells for, how much that keyword sells for. Right? All right. So next I'll talk really quickly about the marketplace. And the marketplace is easy. There's not many slides on this. It is very, very simple. You not only have all these different marketplaces that you can sell on, but I really recommend keep it simple and use ours, because it's already on Afternic. So you're selling it on Afternic, which is this first red button there. I wish I could use the highlighter, but. And then you put in your domain name, your listing URL, and then the price, and then add the listing. So it helps get eyeballs. It helps get extra juice to your Afternic listing. Again, it can sell just on Afternic, like my students are doing, but why not get extra eyeballs, from not only our members, but on the public end. Now let's talk a little bit about the hand-picked expired domain vault. The hand-picked expired domain vault has domains like this. And this was me sorting the giant list by CPC, okay, which is the monetize, okay, the cost per click. So it's, of course, you guys probably know, who knows what the highest keyword, you guys have already seen that, mesothelioma is the most expensive keyword. It costs like $200 a click. You guys know that because the attorneys, they advertise. They advertise for people who had asbestos poisoning, and they sue for like $30 million. They'll sue a company for like $30 million, and that's why they pay $200 a freaking click. So what do you do with a domain like this? Well, the obvious thing, I have one student who's a great testimonial. He was flipping these things for 20 grand a piece, doing it over and over again. Anthony, he became a big guru too, Anthony Aries, but he was one of my big testimonials. And he studied with me, came to masterminds, and he was flipping them for $20,000, selling to attorneys. He would call up a personal injury attorney, and he would sell them a domain like this. And he'd be like, hey, so Wisconsin mesothelioma attorney, or just like, it would be straight up domains like, personal injury Tampa.com, personal injury attorneys. Amazing. So again, you can also use this vault it's all expired domains, so you can use them for, the quick grabber method too, if you want to make that quick money looking through the drop list, when people are looking through the drop list. All right. So with the mastermind, typically it looks like this. That's me. I'm usually on the GoToWebinar like that. And we do it with GoToWebinar. And a lot of the time it is directed, the Monday one is really directed on the questions box. Well, what I do, this is interesting, this is an actual survey I do. I do surveys. And so at the beginning I'll have, here's the link, guys, fill out the link. And so I have questions like, what do you feel you need help with? You know, did you buy these through Prime Domains? And it's funny, the people who say yes, they have good ones. People who say no, they didn't, they're not so good. You know what I mean? So this is a real life example. That's the way the masterminds start out. So you really can't go wrong, you know what I mean? But they're really driven off of that on Monday. Wednesday, more of a, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. This is, you know, teaching and presenting. But Mondays is more of like, all right, now we're going to do this. So I'll say, what do you need? And someone will be like, oh, I need a logo. I want to develop on this site. So someone had designer furniture. They found designerfurniture.net through Prime Domains. So I go into my AI assistant and I design a logo. And it's more of a logo. It's more than a logo. It's like a brand. It's like an entire theme. You know what I mean? So I get artistic with it. I've got good. I'm really good with AI. Not to toot my own horn, but so I'll do that, and I'll design people's sites and stuff like that, like develop on domains for you guys and all of that, and it's a lot of fun. So those are like the elements, guys. You know, so I know we've been here about an hour and 15 minutes, so you know, I'm sure you guys want to jump into the software and everything, and you stop my yapping. So, oh, this is one last thing I forgot to tell you though. I also write out your listings for you, and here's another freebie, okay, which is that same example we talked about. Remember the computer chair? Someone on the mastermind wanted to sell computerchair.org, so I wrote out a computerchair.org listing. All right, now this would be like for Flippa or for YouTube, wherever, and it is exactly, this is a very good listing. It's exactly what a buyer would want to see. You know, the search review, and I didn't even talk about an appraisal. I just talked about that comparable sale. Crazy, right? I didn't even put the appraisal. I'm not saying appraisals are bad. Sometimes you can't find a comparable sale and you have to use the appraisal. But in this case, this is a $17,000, pretty similar. Computer, office, computer chair, office. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's a really good way to do it. All right, so guys, this is what we're gonna do. Is you guys are getting all of this stuff, and jump into the software. Email me, come to the mastermind, and I'll set you up in the Facebook group, and I'll keep my eye on you, and we'll make history. With that being said, just remember that it does come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and not only does it come with a 30-day money-back guarantee through the retailer Explodely, but if you don't do $10,000 your first month flipping domains, I will buy you 10 domains myself and do the listings and all of that. We found that, you know, just internally, this works so well. It kind of balances out both. People feel so comfortable. You got to feel comfortable when you're doing this, you know, without the pressure and all of that, and be able to trust me. You know what I'm saying? So that's my second guarantee. We kind of have both. All right. Look good? So, yeah, people are very eager in the questions box. Does it cost a lot for a listing? No, man. Afternic doesn't cost anything. They take a piece once it sells, like 10% or something like that. And then on our marketplace, you know, the only thing that you guys got to do is make sure that our bandwidth is covered and everything. Like we pay for the APIs and all that stuff. And so there's just a one-time fee. A lot of people are like, all right, give me the access. So here it is, okay? So to get Prime Domains, to sign up for Prime Domains right now, you can do so using this link that you can see on the screen right there. Or you can locate the chat box in this very webinar. We're going to be posting the link in the chat box. You click on that link, you're going to end up on the order form through our retailer Explodely. As you can see, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose. Jump in right now and let's start flipping domains. Now, for only those people on the webinar right now, from now until the end of the webinar, I'm going to be doing a very special bonus where I will give you my personal email. I usually never do this, of course, but I will give you my personal email so that you can keep in touch with me through the process You can tell me about your adventures flipping domains. And I can use your testimonials, hopefully, in the future if you'd like to share your success stories with me. All right? So that's a very special bonus I wanted to throw in. It's not going to be available anywhere else except right here on this webinar. Get in, and then you guys are going to have the AI Finder that you saw me demo in this very webinar. You're going to have the marketplace where you can advertise your domain listings. You're also going to get our hand-picked expired domain vault. Now what this is, all right, is a lot of the time you're just simply snagging them real quick. They're expired domains, right? But they're hand-picked by our team. You list them for sale, and they sometimes sell right away. Because other people, they're looking through the drop list. It's a perfect timing thing, right? You probably heard me talk about it elsewhere. You're going to be able to come to the mastermind on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then just for you guys that get in within the next 15 minutes, you're going to also get my personal email, all right? That's a bonus that I would love to throw in there, all right? And just hit us up with tons of questions. We're not going anywhere just yet. Probably another 10 minutes or so, probably a good 90-minute meeting, all of us. So another 10 minutes or so. So something you got to understand is that you're getting a special discount today, okay? The entire package here for Prime Domains, you are getting more than 50% off only today, all right? And guys, I need to remind you, all right, you're going to be in our exclusive Facebook group, too, as a member, all right? And you're going to be surrounded by other paid members who are making literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with domain names. Just look at this right here. One look through the Facebook group, and you will see every other post is after Nick sale, private sale for $18,000, after Nick. It's literally impossible to fail at this. Guys, these students who simply used Prime Domains to snag high-value premium domains for pennies on the dollar, listed for sale, and boom, up to $30,000 each, and then posted in the Facebook group. Everybody is talking about it, but not everybody is going to be allowed in. All right? The Prime Domain system with everything in one shop, the AI Finder, the Vault, the Marketplace, the Facebook group, and my personal email. Just because we're on this webinar with you guys, this bundle is extremely limited. All right? Yep, to keep the integrity of the system intact and to keep all the good domains for ourselves, guys, this program is not being advertised anywhere else. All right? So get in, guys. Let's make history. And I'm going to jump into the questions box right now. I'm going to ask you guys, how much is this worth to you? Straight up. If you knew you were going to win a $10 million Powerball, would you spend a couple grand in lottery tickets to win it? Tell me in the questions box. I mean, I know you're going to win. All right? All right. Yep, you guys know what's up. How could all of these normal people, and to the skeptics, if there are any skeptics on here, I don't think there are, but all I can say is, how could all of these normal people be reporting tens of thousands of dollars in domain sales in public, in my Facebook group, and you come along and you're not going to experience the same thing? Well, let me tell you, you guys are better off because not all of these folks in the Facebook group that are reporting these earnings, they had my personal email in the entire package. That's something I am, again, specially doing today, only today. And also, they paid twice as much as you guys are paying to get in today. They paid $2,500. Yep, that's right. So remember, you are getting more than 50% off today, guys. And we will never do this again. So I would urge you, if you have to, just think about it. I'm usually $1,000 an hour for coaching. You've probably seen people talk about that on the net. I'm not cheap. But you are getting me for life only today via personal email as well, practically thrown in for free. All right? And you guys have probably been to other webinars, right? Ask yourself, on those other webinars, did you see the vendor make $3,700 recorded on a video live? Tell me in the questions box. All right. Yep, right? Did they offer a program where you got to work with the vendor personally and 10K guaranteed? And did he have a Facebook group with hundreds of people making actual money? Heck no, right? Tell me in the questions box, yes or no. All right, yep. Andrea says heck no. Paul says absolutely not. John says nope. Daniel says no, nope, absolutely not, right? You guys are in the money. So let's do this, and we'll start working immediately together, personally, you and me, guys. All right? And look, I also see some comments here again regarding if it's a one-time fee or if it rebills, and other people that feel they can't afford it, etc. Look, it's absolutely just a one-time fee, all right? And yes, this one-time fee is there to pay for our bandwidth, the API, all right, for all of the appraisal services, and to compensate our partners. The money gets, distributed. Once you guys get in, that money is replenishing, all right? It's going to all of these different partners that we have to pay for. And, I mean, I know you guys aren't concerned. You know that money replenishes. You won't even notice. Just a drop in the bucket real quick. You know what I mean? Money comes and goes. You know it. It does for us. And the amounts that people are making makes it the wisest investment that you could ever make. So think about your electricity bill and other utilities. You throw money at those utility companies, right? Since when did you have the opportunity to have your money make more money for you? And that's what this is. So do it while the bonuses are still there, guys. So you guys getting in? Hit me up in the questions box. Heck yeah. All right. Yep. Guys, everybody is getting in. I love it. Thank you guys so much for being so enthusiastic. I can't wait to meet you guys in the Facebook group. Just to review, this is what you guys are going to be getting. You're going to be getting the AI Finder software that you saw in the demo. You are going to be getting the marketplace where you can list your domains for sale and make quick sales for sometimes upwards of $30,000, as you saw. You're also going to get the hand-picked domain vault. And you're going to be coming, hopefully, to every Monday mastermind that I do. I've been doing them since 2011, to be honest with you. I have over 300 replays, actually, inside the members area. You guys can also watch. I didn't tell you about that. So, yeah, guys, remember, for a limited time, you're going to also be getting my personal email. You're going to be getting the Facebook group, and it is 50% off only today, guys. All right? And we will never be doing that again. All right? So here's the link. All right? There's the link to get in. And also, you can also either type that into a separate, open up another window in your browser, and you can type that in, or you can go into the chat box in this very webinar, click on the link, we put it in the chat box, and you're just going to see an order form come up. It's through our retailer, Explodely. It's not even up to us. If you guys need your money back within 30 days, we do a 30-day money-back guarantee. All right, so jump in, and let's make history. I can't wait to meet all of you. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So, yeah, so you guys, I see you guys jumping in and everything. That's awesome. Just remember that it is important to jump in because, as you saw, there are some really, really good domains there right now. Now, again, AI seems to find them. Even though people purchase and you click on that red button multiple times, there's more domains. But, of course, jump in immediately so you can grab the good domains that were in there. Like you saw that one page, like the actual screenshot of what the page looked like tonight. There's multiple pages, and there's multiple prompts. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to jump in ASAP. Jump in immediately, all right? I mean, I don't mean to put on the pressure, but it's you guys see what I'm saying. So anyway, so far we got Winston got in, Thomas got in, George got in. With that being said, guys, let me show you what happens when you click on the link in the chat box to order the software, all right? So you guys locate the chat box in this GoToWebinar, right, in the webinar. And when you click on the link, you end up on this page here, as you can see. You see this graphic here. You see the timer that's going to let you know when that personal bonus is going to disappear. And then you see how it says no upsells. There's nothing else to buy after you get in, except for domains, and those could be anywhere from $1 to $10, right? So it's going to explain what you are going to be getting here. And it explains also that it's 50% off just for you guys. So when you click on this blue button, you're going to end up on the order form, and the price on that next order form is representative of it after the 50% discount. We've just hard-coded it into the order form. That is the lowest price you will ever, ever, ever see. All right? So that's what the order form looks like. All you do is simply click on the blue button, put in your credit card information, and click on the button. And then the next thing you know, you're going to be in the members area, which looks just like this. All right? This is a video right here. I strongly recommend to watch this intro video. You haven't seen it yet. And then you can come over here to the navigation and jump into the AI Finder in the vault. And then you can sell domains in the marketplace. Very, very simple. All right? And, with that being said, guys, I would just say that information by itself is not going to save you. You didn't notice? This is a software webinar. This is all about the software. The last hour that you guys have been on this webinar will go to, it'll be wasted, the entire hour, if you guys don't get it. All right? I don't need to put the pressure on, but, it's right now, right in front of you, the opportunity to have this, what we would call, an actual metal detector, okay? It's finding gold in the ground. It's finding diamonds. It's a digital software tool that finds needles in haystacks. All right? I mean, that's what everybody wants, except this is something that just keeps going and going and going. It's not like NFTs or crypto or something that's a fad that's going to wear out. This is domain names. This is the foundation of all internet properties, of all websites, right? Everybody needs domains. And that way they're always super, super valuable all throughout the years. I've been doing this now 20 years, and not one time during that 20 years did people start saying, all right, you know what, this is the horrible thing, et cetera. That might have happened with NFTs or happened this or that, or, Forex is popular now, and now it's not, The stock market hits the bed, or, I don't want to use, no offense to anyone who uses the stock market to make money, but you get the drift. Domains is king, all right? So, yeah, guys, just remember, I would say that you guys do have the option. You have those two options, right? You have the option of, pretty much sitting by on the sidelines and, being that type of person that's kind of like a skeptical consumer, an employee. It's a little wishy-washy, right? And just same problems every day, definition of insanity, doing the same thing that gets no results over and over again, right? And then more webinars, more products, and just that's the kind of consumer mentality, right? And then there's the second type, the second option, the second type of person that's a producer, right? That gets things done, takes action, and is kind of like a hidden undercover millionaire, like that just needs to break out of the egg or break out of the shell, the chrysalis or whatever, right? And you as the producer, you guys who are taking action, right? You know that you're living the wrong life, right? You've been living the wrong life, and it doesn't make any sense, right? And you're realizing it, and now you're going to break free right here on the webinar by taking action, and click on that link in the chat box, and then click on read this, take a look at it. It's explaining everything that you're going to be getting, and then click on that blue button and make a change, make it happen. You know what I'm saying? You can invest, or you can say, I don't want to. I'm going to go back to exactly what was happening yesterday and the same problems. And the second option never makes anyone any happier. You know what I'm saying? So I would say be the producer, guys. All right? The producers are the types that that get away from, all right, I'm going to hit up customer service. I'm going to, how much is this? How much is that? Like very skeptical, like worried about everything. Those people never make any money. The people who make money are the people who are like, all right, I'm going to get this domain. They get excited. They get passionate, like, oh my God, Jamie, look at this, sending me an email and you've got like 5 new domains that you got. And me and you were getting excited over it. Like you followed the instructions. It's not hard to do, right? It's just, as I explained, 2 words as a domain name. And then you and me are getting really excited about it. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm almost halfway through my inventory. I've done $5,000 this week, right? That's the producer, right? We got our money on our mind, the mind on the money and the money on the mind. And we're playing ball. I throw the ball, you catch it. You throw the ball back, I catch it. You know what I'm saying? Not this type of skeptical consumerism, where I throw the ball and the ball hits the ground and you're walking away. You know what I'm saying? That's all I would say. Those types of people, they're going to want to play ball. They're going to want to watch the game or try to play ball the next day. Same thing happens the next day. So I would say just don't be the consumer, be the producer. You know what I mean? And guys, look, again, that you want to join my other students. Look at these guys. These students in my Facebook group, they were you not too long ago. They really were. They came on the webinar just like you did, and I gave them these 2 choices. I said the same thing. I was like, hey, do you want to be a consumer or producer? I mean, straight up. And this is the follow-up. This is the result of me saying that. If I didn't say this and I didn't, you'd be like, well, what's the reason for this? That's the reality check. This is the reality check right here. They jumped into the software. It's all done for you. You press the buttons, it finds you, just like a metal detector. And then they check their email box and they see Afternic sales over and over and over and over again. Look at this. You can't make this up. This is actually happening here. All right? So that's all I'd say, guys, is break your old habits, get in. As you can see, it's super easy to get in. You guys, you might be getting excited now, right? Like you get fired up, and then what happens the next day, right? You come on webinars like this all the time, right? And the next day, nothing. It's a bad habit. A habit, as I was explaining, just repeating the same things that have gotten you to this place in the first place. You're not happy with it, and I show you this exact same system, and you're going to get back to work tomorrow at the 9 to 5 or whatever you're doing, or feeling bad about yourself. And I'm simply saying you have to break that habit. You're going to invest in this, and if not, the last hour was wasted, because this entire webinar, sure, you might have learned a lot about domains, but you know what? It is a software webinar. It's about the software. I'm not saying, all right, hey guys, now learn a little bit more. Come into my school, right? It's not like that. This is an actual digital tool that you will have access to forever, and you will be able to find domains and sell those domains forever. All right? It's like winning the lottery, and look at it however you want, lump sum, or you won 2,000 a week for life. You've probably seen those, right? So, when was the last time you guys won the lottery, huh? Probably never. This, you're going to be in the money for a long, long, long time, all right? So that's all I'd say, guys, is take that disposable income, the income that you're going to go to the movies with, or you're going to waste on God only knows what. Nowadays, a good little barbecue with your family in the backyard is going to cost you $100, right? You're going to have to buy briquettes, chicken, etc. You get my drift, right? And look, we know you don't want to eat ramen noodles or something that's unhealthy every day. You want to get healthy food, and that's going to cost money. Just eat ramen noodles right now, and with the rest of the money, jump in. That's all I'd say. Take the disposable income and make an investment in yourself, guys, because the money that you're going to put into this is going to make you more money, all right? Don't buy any more liabilities. Put your money into an investment like this, all right? And with that being said, here's the link again, guys. All right, as you can see there, you can either open up a new window in your browser, hit that link, jump in, or you can jump into the chat box in this webinar, click on the link, and you're going to end up on this page. And you'll see that blue button, click here and get access, or down here, click here and get access, and you are good to go. All right? And, yeah, I mean, just remember, guys, don't worry about the money, because that's what this is all about. This software makes money. So, you know, again, I know a lot of people sometimes are like, oh, man, I don't like spending money, etc. Look, guys, money is just a tool for exchange, you know. Money's actually a good thing. It's a way that we can measure things, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to be getting either money from this, or you would get your money from a paycheck, right? You're going to blow it. You're going to blow all the money, but you're going to get it again. You're going to get it like every week or whatnot, right? Whether it's a paycheck or whether it's your Afternic check or wherever, you know? But the one thing you're not going to get back is time. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to get your money back, but you're not going to get your time back. You know what I mean? So invest in something that's going to save you all that time, and you're going to be able to maximize, you know, the amount of money that you get for your time. When you're exchanging your time for money, you know, that is probably the biggest problem, is you're struggling with turning your time into money. You know what I mean? You're having to spend too much time to make too little money. That is probably your only problem. Serious. You guys probably agree with me, right? Tell me in the questions box if you agree with me. You try to make up your mind, should I turn 60 minutes into $20 working for this guy and I never get to see my family? Or, now I'm with Jamie, I'm going to turn 15 minutes into $1,200 like Jamie did, live on the webinar. And guys, you need to say this to yourself. What I'm saying right now, you need to say this to yourself. Say this. Repeat after me. I saw Jamie do it with my own eyes. I watched the entire process from start to finish. It was recorded. There was no way around it. I am going to trade 15 minutes a day for $1,200 a day. Guys, repeat after me. Do that right after me. I'm going to trade 15 minutes a day for $1,200 in income a day. And after you guys invest in this, your time wasting for money problems are gone. And then you could join my students in my Facebook group, guys. Let's take another look real quick. Look, one after the other, guys. Sale, sale, sale. Absolutely, absolutely insane. All right? So, yeah, guys, you know, I would say with what you're buying today, all right, with what you're investing in today, you get to say goodbye forever to fumbling around, trying to talk your wife into internet marketing, spending time away from your family on webinars. You're going to say goodbye to that miserable lifestyle forever. All right? You can say goodbye to all of the fears, money fears forever. All right? And I'm serious. It really does work. It works for all of my students, as you can see, you know? And for anyone that's still on the fence, even with all of my rambling, why on earth would you not want this, guys? All right? Open the chat box in this very webinar and click on the link. You'll be at the order page. Just click on the blue button and grab primedomains.ai. And just remember, guys, I'm not a rocket scientist. I don't do my own Facebook ads. Super hard, right? I don't get up on stage anymore and do the big guru thing. You know, I want to retire. I want to relax. Why should I have to work, right? Having this type of technology. So how do I spend my time and how do I make money? Something easy, first of all. And then it's even easier, 10 times easier, with this software that works as the metal detector and the marketplace. So join me, guys. Remember, this package is coming with my personal assistants, and it is gone. This is not it's not going to be there forever. So there's a timer on the page right now. Jump in, guys. You will not regret it. I promise. All right? And remember, it comes, of course, with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And in addition to that 30-day money-back guarantee, pick one or the other, or both. Make $10,000, or I will make you $10,000. I will buy you 10 domains, and then I will flip them for you. All right? So you can't lose, guys. You have this triple-pronged approach where you can't lose. It is virtually impossible for you to lose. All right? So that's what I would recommend, guys. Join me, and let's kick some ass. And let's do it. Let's change the world. Remember, just be that hidden producer, guys, that's dying to break free. Do it for your family. Do it for the kids. Do it for the grandkids. And let's sell some domains. All right? Remember that, money is just a tool for exchange. It's not going to hurt. You're going to join my students in the Facebook group. I said this with them, and look at them now, right? But I had to say this. I had to kind of, just spill the beans, so to speak, to get these guys to jump into the members area. Remember, we are paying for all of this for everybody. We're paying for the API, the appraisal services. We're paying for the bandwidth. We're paying for the development, and I'm spending my time doing all of this for everybody. I could have made this a super cheap little Warrior Plus product or something, right? But let's be honest, I can't work for free, right? That would make 0 sense, and it wouldn't be fair to people, right? It wouldn't be fair to people where someone gets lucky and does get my time, right? And then someone else doesn't, right? There has to be hierarchy. There has to be like a real justified method of value, a monetary value and a measurement there, right, of my time. So if I'm $1,000 an hour, if someone wants to book me for 1 hour, right, if that's on the table, that's the price, right? So would it make sense if I went on Warrior Plus and I was like, oh, hey, guys, you're going to get one-on-one for 2 minutes with me just this once? That doesn't exist. The way that this system works makes sense. There's enough money in there to pay for all the APIs, pay for everything. Again, that's why we went with the full package thing, because then no one's going to get left out in the cold. Everyone has my attention. Everyone who gets into this program is going to have that personal touch, which simply sets you free. It's everything that you need. It's reinforced. It's everything that you need for you to finally crack the code. All right? So use this freaking amazing, groundbreaking digital tool to mine domains, and let's kick some butt together, guys. So with that being said, I'll jump back in the questions box and I'll answer more questions for you. And I love your questions, guys. Is there a replay Saturday? I don't know if we're going to be doing it. I would say I liked this webinar. I thought it was fun. I liked it a lot. Since 2002, Ross has had those. Damn, man. Yo, bro, I really hope to see you in the mastermind and in the Facebook group. Let's do it together, dude. Let's sell these domains together. I'll write listings for them and everything, and we'll be getting a little bit more for them. We'll do research and get a lot for them. Some of them we might be able to develop on, like millionaire.info. That could be cool. It could be like, have you ever seen that one website where the guy, Celebrity Net Worth? You ever seen that website? It could be like that. It'd be a list of millionaires.info. It's like with these authority type domains, they're perfect domains to flip though, because a lot of them, it's like we develop on them. Well, how are we going to make money with them? Like cellulite.biz, perfect domain to flip. Because when you think about it, like we're going to develop on it, like what would we turn it into? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I really hope to see you in there, man. Like you'd be perfect for the clan. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for getting in, bro. Nice, John is in. All right, so y'all getting in. So you dug the webinar, huh? You dug the software? I'm telling you, guys are gonna freaking love it, man. If you could tell, I'm like so excited about it. I was like me and my programmer, we spent about a year doing it. I didn't tell you guys that, and it's like I was just blown away. And at the same time, it was like the AI makes it so that I can share it with you guys. I can share it with I shared it with my son, with my wife. Like I share it with you guys, and I still have tons of domains and selling tons of domains. It's like the coolest side hustle ever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that's fun to do, easy to do. I make thousands of dollars with this, and then And you guys have, again, since I teach it, it made me a better domainer. Because I didn't know that. I didn't know that domains would sell just from people looking through the drop list. If it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for me teaching it, and you guys didn't tell me what happened or what worked, so it's like goes full circle, you know what I mean? So, and also to be honest with you guys, like in the masterminds, I'm always like I yell. It's funny, you guys you'll see the replays too, the replays of the webinars in the members area. There's like 300 of them. I mean, there would be more, but I think I went back to like 2019 or something. You're gonna see me like recently, since this came out. You see me, I'll just jokingly like yell at my students. I'll be like, "Why are these domains still there?" I'm like I have to tell people like, "Oh my God, you guys better buy that." Like it's hard to get people to take action. You could imagine. So you might think like, "Well, Jamie, they're gonna take all the good domains and stuff." Like, it's hard to get people to purchase domains. But again, like what I'm gonna do when I get off of this webinar is I'm jumping in there and buying a bunch of domains. So you know what I'm saying? Like, because I saw a couple that I really liked as well. So it's like, because there are always new ones, and AI is so weird. And I mean, it does have to do with the fact that domains drop, they expire, but I don't know. I mean, it's just you click on the red button and it finds a list of domains, and it'll have, all right, here's the list. All right, it's done searching. You click on the red button again, it adds domains to the list. You click on the red button again, it adds domains to the list again. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Can you reach out to me by email? Yeah, man. Like once you're in, everyone who gets in tonight is getting my personal email. And then I want you guys to reach out and tell me the domains you got. And I would love to have crazy testimonials. Like when I go to Vegas and I see all the gurus, that's all we do. I mean, you guys might not know this, but all we do is like compete with each other, like who's the better teacher and who has more testimonials and who's more authentic and legitimate. Like that's all we do. And then a lot of the time we rank on it. I'm a nice guy, but a lot of the time the gurus are all will mess with each other. It will be like, oh no, you're illegitimate. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we competing a lot of the time, like trying to be the better teacher. So get me testimonials. You know what I mean? Like once you guys get in and you make sales, that's why you're gonna have my personal email, so you can tell me. Please tell me. I mean, I can't force you. It's up to you if you want. But please tell me when something good happens. And like with this cat who has like the millionaire.biz already, all that, my job, I think the value is going to get out of this. You're not only using the AI software, but I can write listings for him. And what was your name again, man? Was it Ross? So yeah, it's gonna be kick-ass. So Chris Mills says he can't wait to get started. I guess Ross, we're gonna kick some ass, man. You and me. That's the fellow who has the. All right, so yeah, dude. Thank you so much for your value. Those domains are crazy. Donna says, how do you get on the mastermind? So Donna, once you're in the members area, you'll get access to the members area. Am I showing my screen? I am not. Okay. All right. Let me show my screen. Let me show my browser. All right. Okay. So once you're in here, click on AI Finder, right, as you see in the navigation, and do a search like I just did. All right. I did the monster search. All right. And as you can see, it's finding us different ones now. It's found buyfootwear.net. So, Donna, when you first get in, log into the members area, and you'll see in the navigation it says Dashboard, AI Finder, Vault, remember the expired domains, Sell Domains. That's where you're going to click there to add something to the marketplace. Then the marketplace, that's where it shows all the domains that are being for sale. Appraiser, Lead Generator, Drop List, Zone Difference. Like Lead Generator, remember we were talking local, like when you call up attorneys to sell them stuff, right? So you're going to get all that stuff. And then the Mastermind right down here. So it's in the navigation, Mastermind. Click on Mastermind, come there, and then I'll give you the Facebook group link, and I'll do stuff for you, like write you listings, logos, it all starts with that survey. And then webinar replays is underneath Mastermind. All right? And then support is right here, this link there. But other than that, I mean, you are going to have, I don't think you're going to need support. You're going to have my personal email, right? I mean, and it's kind of like, it's, Jamie, what do you think of this domain, et cetera? But if you need it, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? So, two different lifelines, so to speak, All right, hope I answered your question. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate the feedback is extraordinary. Thank you so much. Is dronecrazy.biz have any value? No. But make a drone store out of it. It's a great brand name. Sure. Even though it's a .biz. A lot of the time with brands, don't worry too much. With brand names, I just say have it radio station proof. I know it's a weird thing. What I mean by that is if you ever go on a radio station and they say, hey, all right, great to interview you. Or nowadays it's podcast, but I come from the 80s. So it's like, so make sure that no one says, how do you spell that? Is right, wouldn't that, you know what I mean? Like, so it's good if you have a domain. So that domain name that you have, dronecrazy.biz, no one's gonna say, they say at the end of the podcast, all right, great to talk to you, Eldon. What's the name of your website? You'd say, oh, it's dronecrazy.biz. All right, cool, dronecrazy.biz. Everyone go there. It's Eldon's website, right? So there's no like, oh, how do you spell that? So that's all you need with a brand name is like, is it podcast proof or radio station proof? You know what I'm saying? But it's really like a brand name, dude. All right, Ross. Hell yeah, we'll include Todd, bro. Yeah. I've done a webinar from Todd's house one time, like one of these masterminds. True story. And it was while we were barbecuing. You know what I mean? Like, I had the laptop. But a lot of the time I'm just here, like that office you saw in the video with the lights. I guess like I'm here a lot of the time creating and stuff. It's like home office. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I guess like I like working on a laptop. I mean, what do you guys? Do you guys have desktops or laptops? What type of situations do you guys? Who is on a computer? Are you guys on phones? Is there anyone on a phone or? Yeah, it's very interesting. William says, do you provide a separate training? I do. Yeah, man. There's when you first get in here, there's a really good one. Watch this. This is like a master class right here. This video. This is a training video. Jump into that, and then I gotta be honest with you. Aside from the vault training and all of that, jump into the webinar replays. They are freaking crazy. You guys got to jump into the replays. Look at how many replays there are. It's like ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. You guys got to. I do a lot of drawing, like diagrams and stuff. I really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, no, there's tons of training, man. Tons of. I'm telling you, I know in this industry sometimes you hear people, exaggerate things, but I'm always understating things. There's tons of training, and then, so it's videos. But dude, come to the masterminds and on Wednesday, you cannot go wrong. It's gonna be insane. All right. So here it is again, guys. Here's the link. That's the link to sign up. Jump in, and remember, you're going to get my personal email because you were on this webinar. You're live on this webinar, and therefore I'm going to give you my personal email so you can share your success stories with me. And I'll also help you along the way if you have any questions at all. Now remember, you can use this link to sign up, or you can use the link in the chat box in this webinar. So anybody else have any holdups, anything keeping you on the fence that you'd like to clear up with me before we hopefully bring Todd back on? And oh, you're on your phone, Donna. All right. Well, did you find the connection working well for you tonight? Yeah, I have to say, people on my webinars, they're on their phones. I mean, it's a lot of, I'm very verbal. It's like audio a lot of the time. I'm a very verbal person. But I do like to draw too, you know, like diagrams and demo things and use things, like use actual software and stuff. Oh, Dennis uses Dynadot. That's awesome. Do you set up a business for IRS purposes? No, I just have one umbrella. I have one umbrella, and then all the websites and domains underneath that umbrella. Can I put the domains I have in the software to appraise and evaluate? Yes. Pat C says on the laptop. Yeah, John, no problem, man. Appreciate your positivity and enthusiasm. Thanks, man. So, yeah, as I was saying, anybody have any holdups? Anyone want me to address anything that wasn't clear, or, you know? So hopefully all you guys are getting in, right? Like, Verender's in. After that, after 1,300 webinars, like you learn your folks, you know, you learn about your students, and you know, the industry that I'm in, it's kind of, you could imagine, you know, I have affiliates, all sorts of affiliates who find my products on Click, so I have no control a lot of the time of who's sending people. And after a couple weeks, like even the most jaded, you know, angry student that signed up for someone else's course or something and then bought mine, and it comes in the webinar, he's like, you know, has a consumer mentality or something. I have the most beautiful stories of folks like where they became success stories, and it was really rocky start in the beginning. And listen to Adil Chowdhury, you know, Adil, the owner of Scribble on ClickBank. He bought my webinars when he was, you know, working at McDonald's, and this is like, you know, when I first started, you know, 2011 or something. And he was already kind of doing things, but he was kind of like hard to deal with in the beginning. But then now we're like best friends. He was very energetic and pushy in the questions, but blowing up the questions box and being challenging me and stuff. I've had a lot of other students, like Matthew Neer was one of my students in the questions box, you know, blowing up the questions box. Matthew Sabia, Jeff Lenny. He owns Media Globe now, which is like a agency that does all the Facebook ads for all these celebrities and stuff. Mike Balmaceda too was one of my, I wouldn't say he's a student, I kind of picked his brain as well. We had like a brain picking thing, but I have a webinar where I taught him things, and he was so young. He was like 21 years old, and he went on to do $300 million. He was the top ClickFunnels award winner ever. He just went to the ClickFunnel hacking thing, and he was on stage, and he had 100 million in trophies. I hit him up on the phone. I was like, "Congratulations, man! It couldn't happen to a nicer guy." He's like, "Thanks, King," or something. You know, he's like, "Thanks, boss." You know, some shit. And he was so persistent, and I felt bad. I think like it, you know, he's the nicest guy, but I think like the last time I had to say no. He said, "Could we get on a call? I wanted to pick your brain about something." I said, "Bro, I'm going through a divorce." And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man." I was like, "Yeah, bro, I have no time today." It was like one of those. And I felt bad, but yeah, he's the nicest guy, bro. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. He did kind of the same thing, like where he does products for celebrities. Big product on ClickBank that did like 60 million or something with Mike Tyson, the Mike Tyson offer. And then he did one with Alex Jones. I mean, you can't make this up. Caitlyn Jenner, Alex Jones. Yeah, you guys are. Yeah, here's all the people who got in so far. Yeah, so Winston got in, Thomas got in, George got in, another George got in, John got in, Verenda got in, Michael got in, Joe got in, Nam got in, and I'll refresh. Oh my gosh! All right, Bruce got in, Steven got in. So you guys are getting in. Yeah, I'm very happy to meet all you. I'll be meeting you guys, and we'll be really kicking some butt. It'll be amazing. All you guys that I just named are hopefully coming to the mastermind on Monday. If you miss it this Monday, I'll be there next Monday, but also then Wednesday. So I end every mastermind with, all right, guys, I'll see you in 48 hours. Always like being able to say that because I don't like leaving webinars. I kind of stuff like that. I mean, I don't do like what I used to do. Like one time, I think the longest one I ever did was we ended in the morning at like 8 in the morning. So I think that was my record. I think was a 13-hour one. I did that. I used to have Matthew Neer. I had Isaiah Jackson, Matthew Neer, a bunch of those students. Isaiah Jackson now is one of the top level guys who works at Click Magic, actually. But you know, sometimes like if I was sick or I couldn't get on the webinar on time or something like that, then my students, some of those alumni students, started off, which is really interesting, and there's a lot of them are really good. But yeah, that's all about me. I like teaching this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So jump in, use the link right there, or you can use the link in the chat box and sign up for Prime Domains, and let's get started. Make sure that you get in. You're going to love primedomains.ai. You're going to be coming to the webinars. You're going to be, advertising your domain listings in the marketplace. And best of all, the hardest part is finding them. That's where the AI Finder software comes in. You're able to see me demo it. There's no stopping this. All right? The great thing about AI is although there are great domain names in there right now, sure, the ones that you saw a little bit of, they're probably going to be gone the second that we get off the webinar. But the great thing about AI is new ones are always popping up. It's always finding new domains, and it's really strange. A lot of us don't really have the answers about how AI is working for us, but it really is a game changer, isn't it? So yeah, you guys have been great. Thank you so much, and I look forward to our relationship together. All you guys got in, I really appreciate it, and I'm sure that you're going to appreciate the software. So that's it. We're gonna be taking off now, and I will see you guys in email and in the mastermind. And thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for being here. And let's do this. All right? primedomains.ai. It is the wave of the future when it comes to domaining. All right. So sign up below, guys, and I will see you on the masterminds. All right. Later.
All right, everyone. Let's give a massive round of applause to Jamie for that mind-blowing demo. You've just witnessed firsthand the power of AI-driven domain flipping, so there's no hype, no fluff, just real tangible results. Now, we saw Jamie turn $9 domains into $1,000 paydays in a matter of hours. This isn't some theoretical concept. It's happening right now, and you have the opportunity to replicate those same results. So if you've got no experience, that's not a problem. If you've got no technical skills, that's not a problem. If you've got no free time because you're tied up with a job or some other commitments, not a problem. This system is designed for anyone who just wants to succeed. So just with a few minutes of work, you can unlock a world of passive income potential and flip these all day long, even if you do it in the middle of the night. Maybe you do it once a week on the weekend. Maybe you just do it first thing in the morning with your coffee. This is literally one of the most amazing things that I've seen, and I've seen some pretty amazing things. So if you're ready to ditch the 9-to-5 grind and build a sustainable online income and make money passively whenever you feel like it and achieve true financial freedom from anywhere in the world, this is your chance. Jamie's exclusive training program and software is open, but only for a limited time, right? So don't miss out on this opportunity. go and just work with the OG. Go work with the guy who's been doing this thing for a living for like 20 years and knows all the ins, all the outs, all the secrets, all the pitfalls if there are any, and he can actually take you by the hand and take you through this path and give you the shortest path to success and show you how to generate a life-changing income with domain flipping and AI. All right, so imagine waking up to $1,000 plus notifications in your inbox. Imagine having the time and freedom to travel the world, pursue your passions. Imagine, being able to live life on your terms, not having a boss and not, being limited by the amount of money you're making every month, but rather to make as much money as you need or want for a change. This is all possible with the power of AI. This was not possible until now, but it is possible now thanks to AI and thanks to having Jamie's brain and experience uploaded into that AI. So basically, don't wait. Don't sit on your hands. Get off the fence. Go ahead. Visit the link right now. The link is in the chat. The link is on the screen. Go to that page. Secure your spot. He's backing you up with a full money-back guarantee. You can't beat that. You just can't lose. Okay? You can't lose. And I back this up 100%. So, Jamie, thank you again. Thank you guys for all being here today. I'm excited to see you inside. I actually got my access a couple of days ago, and I'm going to be doing this with my daughter. When she's going to be coming back from school, we're going to sit down, run the thing, get some domains, list them for sale, and I want, before her 12th birthday, which is coming up in a few months, I want to have her being able to say that she made money with domain flipping. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes, but I'm seriously excited about this, and I recommend this wholeheartedly to you as well. So this is Igor from Bulgaria, from Sofia, Bulgaria. That's about it for today. Tomorrow, me and my family are going to be probably heading out to Bansko, which is like a small town where many of the nomads live. It's like a ski town. So I'm excited about that. I mean, I'm not excited about skiing. There's no skiing right now. It's too hot for that. But I'm excited to go there to check it out because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and because there's lots and lots of internet marketers who actually live there, who come from all kinds of places, predominantly from European countries because of the cost of living and all that stuff. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed the webinar. Jump right in. I'm in. My daughter's in. And I can't wait to make money with this. Igor's out. Bye.